Hey guys, this is just a quick video about the type of bait that I carry. I guess relatively early in the season um, for trout fishing, at least in Philadelphia. Hi guys, this is Mike. I'm here to show you guys the type of bait that I use for trout that have been stocked in Philadelphia. As you guys know, there's a billion different types of baits out there for trout, especially designed for them. You can spend anywhere from $3 a jar to some things I've seen on Amazon, like this stuff here. This is the Gulp Chunky Cheese Garlic Trout Bait, though. I've seen this stuff go for up to like 18 bucks a jar. Ridiculous. Don't buy it if it's that price. It should average you maybe $5, $6, and that's expensive, $6. So, but anyway, what I found that is in Philadelphia, in our region at least, the trout like the garlic scent, and they like glitter. I believe the garlic is just a stronger scent that they can pick up on, and the glitter is just a visual thing. So it's an extra aid for your trout to see the bait. This season we started on March 9th, which was the opening day. We didn't have any luck on opening day, but shortly after that, like beginning of this month, later mid-April, me and my buddy John have been catching trout like crazy, and majority of them have been on fathead minnows, small fathead minnows, but now they're switching. So I've noticed that in the mornings and at dusk they like to get the minnows, but during mid-afternoon, like 2, 3 o'clock, you could get them on minnows and this power bait, dough bait type of stuff. So I recommend that you do carry both if you're trying to catch your limit worth, which is 5 in Pennsylvania right now. So I'm going to go over some of these baits with you and tell you my pros and cons and my experience with them, and maybe this will help aid you in making a decision and save some money, because this stuff does get expensive real quick. I mean, if you're averaging $5 a jar here, let's say, just the front row, you're looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, $40 right there, and that's just in dough bait. Pro is that these do last for a while. So if you do buy one jar and you decide it's not working well on and off, you're just using little bits of it, it'll last you all season. This thing has been around with me for 2 seasons, and some people say it gets dried out and stuff. As long as you leave the jar lid locked tight. And another thing is, this one I took the rim off, but like on this one, you can see I left this little flap on here. It's an extra seal that I like. The caps come sealed, but still, it's just an extra thing to keep it a little fresher, so the scent doesn't dissipate and the material doesn't deteriorate over time from being dried. And I also store them in my tackle bag inside a gallon Ziploc bag, and that usually keeps it nice. Also, if you do happen to fish during drizzle or rain, which I do often, try to keep your dough baits as dry as possible. I know that's kind of hard to do, but one thing that I tell you is, like, this yellow glitter garlic power bait got a little wet from a rainstorm that me and my buddy were fishing in, and it's still really wet. And the disadvantage of a wet dough bait is that it doesn't stay on your hook as well, especially if you're using single hooks instead of a treble hook. And that's another thing. A lot of people recommend treble hooks for these power baits. I have mixed thoughts on the treble hooks. Here's my opinion. On the single hook, there's only one hook that the trout can feel when they bite down on that power bait. And I feel like you have a better chance of hooking up on that because it's not going to feel all these little like 3 prongs hitting its mouth. It's just going to feel that one. So you have a third better chance, 2/3 better chance of landing the trout by the trout not feeling the hook before it can actually get set. I don't know if that makes sense, but I can clarify that later. I'll make another video of that. But anyway, so with the power baits, majority of them, so you can buy them in regular scent, like this one. This is regular scent with extra scent added in, which is called turbo. And this is the garlic scent. And there also is a salmon egg scent, which I don't have. I noticed that honestly, like I said, the garlic scent seems to be working best around our area, which is Philadelphia, and surrounding counties like Delaware, Montgomery. I've also noticed that garlic with that's a brand new one. I'll open up one that I've been using, sorry. Same thing, just I've used this one, or I haven't used this one either. See, I like to have backups because sometimes you just go through like a half a jar in one session, you know, depending on how the fish are hitting, if they're just nibbling at it and pulling your dough off, things like that. That's another issue with the treble hook that I'll make a video of. Anyway, if you can see inside here, it's very sparkly, and that seems to attract the fish a lot visually, especially on like clear water days when the sun can somewhat hit those sparkles, and it's like a mini disco ball going on down there. I've got to say, by far my favorite out of these dough baits right here are absolutely the garlic sparkle ones, but the gulp ones seem to outdo the power bait. Same company, made by Berkeley, except for this is the gulp and this is the power bait line. For some reason, the gulp line, you can actually see, I'll open up 2 comparable colors. This is the power bait garlic with the sparkle, and this is the gulp chunky cheese, their version of yellow, with the garlic as well. I don't know if you could see that. I'm going to try to focus in there. Sorry. And I'll open this one up for you. And this is how I like to open them, like I said before, to keep this flap intact as much as I can, to keep the freshness in as much as possible. But as you can see, it has these flecks of they call them flavor bits. And they're a little bit more pronounced in this jar. But these flavor bits actually are spread throughout the material. And I feel that versus the power bait, for some reason the trout like it better. So here's a regular yellow power bait. It does sparkle. And here's a somewhat comparable size of the gulp with the flavor bits. So this is for comparison. But yeah, for me, this gulp stuff is definitely the go-to stuff for me. It seems to attract the trout a lot more, and I've had success with it season in and season out. And I'm sure you guys seen all this stuff at your local Walmart, bait store, whatever, what have you. I'm going to go over a couple other ones with you as well now. So this is just in like just a container, but this is hatchery trout pellets, and I don't know, it depends on the area that you fish in, but in PA, in Philadelphia at least, you're allowed to chum the waters for trout. So some people use corn, some people use dog food, cat food, but I, especially early in the season when they're fresh out the hatchery, I like to use hatchery pellets, because these are the things that they're usually fed and used to eating. That's, I always carry a little bottle just in case. They're not biting, they're really hard to get up from the bottom or something like that. I'll just toss a handful of these in upstream, run downstream, and throw in some power bait, and hopefully that'll work. Or you can double team that action by throwing the pellets upstream, already having your rig, and your rig baited with some of this stuff, which is power baits, hatchery trout nuggets. So basically it's hatchery pellet flavored synthetic marshmallows. I guess marshmallows are synthetic anyway. But anyway, these have the consistency of a dense marshmallow. They stay on your hook relatively well. Definitely better than a regular marshmallow. And these have the flavor of these trout pellets. So, you know, that strategy could work. Depends on the trout. Like in all things fishing, depends on the fish. But that's just one technique that you could use if chumming is legal in your area that you fish. So leave these guys back here. Now, here's something that I really want to work because I love the idea of it. These are Potskis, balls o' fire, dyed, and salmon eggs. The gold label are the bigger size salmon eggs with sparkles in them, and they're dyed red. The regular balls of fire is just the orange, and orange and red seem to be, orange, red, yellow, they seem to be the primary colors that most people use. I've seen tons of videos on YouTube with the guys from Team Potski and just regular people that fish for trout, and they absolutely kill fish with this stuff. I used this pretty much half a season last year, both colors, and I think I might have caught like 5 sunnies off all of that. You know, like I really didn't have any luck. Last week, for the first time ever, I put these on a single egg hook, 2 of them, and the red ones, and I'll open them up and I'll show them to you. I don't really want to touch them unless I have to, because they kind of do stink. But yeah, for the first time ever last week, I did catch a trout on this. And of course, that trout jumped off the hook right before I landed it, and my buddy John was there to verify that did happen. But anyway, so I don't know, in Philadelphia at least, I really haven't had much luck with these natural salmon eggs in the orange and red color by Potskis. Potskis is a great company. They've been around for years. These products have been around for years. It's time tested. It definitely works. It just depends, I think, geographically on where your trout are. So Philadelphia, I think they might bite on them just because of the you have a chance of getting fish with these, just because not many people that I know use natural salmon eggs around here. So maybe it's just something different that you could throw at the fish, and just different smell, different look, and it might just bite out of curiosity, and that could land you a fish or two. So let me know if you guys have any luck in the Philadelphia area with these things, and let me know how you fish them, and maybe I can learn something, because I got, like I said, one trout out of a pretty much a full season now so far, but I'll keep you updated. Also, on those days when they're a little finicky, I like to carry around a jar of these Gulp Alive minnows, 1 inch. You can see them on the bottom. There's a mix in here of the emerald shiner color and the shad color, and there's a couple power bait grubs in there with the power bait tail, the power tail or whatever it's called. I keep them with a couple 1/64th, 1/32nd, 1/16th ounce jig heads in my tackle box, because sometimes I'll run out of minnows. They just want something small, like a minnow-like bait, and I'll just revert to these if I run out of minnows. So basically, this is my artificial trout bait, dough bait, eggs, and that I use for trout in the Philadelphia region. Hope this helped you some. A lot of these products, pretty much all these products, you can get online, especially from like Amazon and eBay. I've noticed that Amazon has a little bit of a higher price than eBay, but the customer service and the shipping is great, especially if you have Amazon Prime. You get the stuff within 2 days or faster, and great selection of stuff. So the best thing I can tell you is to actually get out to your waters. Here's one thing before I leave you. So say you only have $10 or $5, and you used a majority of your money on everything, and you can only buy one jar, right? And you have a selection of these. I personally, just because out of my experience, I will go for the Gulp chunky cheese with the garlic. Especially if you live in Philadelphia, I guarantee you, if you buy this Gulp chunky cheese right here, I'll even not zoom in, but clarify that SKU code right there. So if you look it up with the garlic, oh, this one's without the garlic, sorry. This one with the garlic, I guarantee you will be catching trout with this. This stuff is amazing. But say that's not available, or you're just all you can find is power bait, then my next suggestion for you would strongly be to buy a jar of the rainbow glittered garlic power bait. Here's the lid and the SKU on this one as well. Both can be found on Amazon, eBay, but I strongly urge and recommend you guys to first try your local bait stores. Not your big box like Walmart or Targets. Go to your local bait stores, support them, pay an extra 50 cents or whatever it is to keep them going, and try to get the power bait from there. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any success or suggestions on the video. Next video that I make will be hopefully on my tackle box trout rig or something trout related. Alright, thanks. Have a good one.